filming a lot of these videos back to back. One was 1 year reflection of Rover. This time it's a year in review. A lot has happened this year actually. So first things first, I think the big thing that everyone knows on this channel, I hope if you're watching this video, it's definitely more recent. But right now I'm a shopping advertising solutions architect at Google. I quit my job at Accenture in March and I started in Pi Day. So it's really easy for me to remember. March 14th of 2022. So if you want to see my videos over here, I talked about like why I left, how I did it. And I think a lot of it is pretty eye-opening because at first I was like, oh, you know, like when it comes to this, I actually thought I was going to be at Accenture for a long time or that I will be in consulting for a long time. But then I didn't even realize that there's like consulting roles at a tech company until that point. So I was like, this is pretty cool then. But for the most part, it was a new job and I was like, oh my God. So I thought that, you know, I finally have Google. So what happened was like, just a brief summary, if you want to make sure you find the full length video over there. They reached out to me in December. They were saying like, hey, we have this role that we think you'd be a good fit for. And then I ended up doing the interview process late December through February. And then I got the job offer. So I signed it. I put in my 2 weeks notice at Accenture and then I start in March. 9 months to basically the end of 2022. It's been a long time already. Like honestly, I made a bunch of tech versus Accenture or tech versus consulting or Google specific videos starting the 6 months. So I'm like, wow, 3 months have passed since then. Okay, that's quick. But particularly for me, I thought that this has been really good because the culture was everything I thought, the benefits were everything I thought, the people were everything I thought, the perks and the benefits and the compensation was everything I thought. It was all great. There's a lot I'm learning. There's actually something that I did learn about though, is that at first I came into Google thinking like, I want to do product management. You know, I want to do it because everyone's doing it. It's also like really fits what I was looking to do, fits what I want to do, fits my future goals. Then I come in here and I'm like, okay, I really value work-life balance, or at least I value having work boundaries, because in the past I used to go like, you know, my job is my job, but also it's a big part of me. Like I always identify myself as being hardworking or identify myself as being someone who always is career driven. But now I kind of separate that a little bit, especially when Rover got a little bit bigger, YouTube got a little bit bigger, TCC got a little bit bigger, all that kind of stuff just got bigger into my life. So now I'm like, you know, my job is enabling me to do that. It's stability, it's paying that I can actually do that, so I can be able to do those risk-free. Well, there's no risk-free, but it's basically enabling me to do what I like to do. Of course, it's nice that they ended up being able to monetize off of it, but that's one thing that I wanted to say is that I'm really privileged to be able to say this. And now I was like, if I want to do product management, I probably would have to sacrifice my work-life balance in a lot of ways. It really depends on many different companies, to be honest. But from the most part, like if something breaks on Christmas Day, you're still on there. I'm like, I don't want that. I want to be able to completely unplug. Maybe in the future, we'll see, but product operations, we'll see. I'm actually working with a product operations manager in my role right now at Google, so maybe I could pick her brain a little bit about what exactly that means. And it's the closest product related role to my team particularly. So then after that, year review, Rover business is flourishing. We made about $30,000 this year. So definitely check out the video on my year in review of Rover. I think it's a lot because my boyfriend and I, Addison, we work together. We have a lot of clients because this is my first full year. I started in September of 2021. So this year was the first full year after I've gotten a lot of reviews, a lot of good positive feedback. And then also the two of us means that we have double the clients, or at least we can take double the clients than what I was able to do before. And because of that, there's just this particular holiday season is really busy. I was mentioning in that video, like on Christmas Eve, I have 10 drop-in visits, and that's including 3 cats that are boarding with us, or 2 cats of one household, but 1 cat in our living room. So that's on top of our 3 cats. So, so that's, I'm just gonna leave that video over there, so definitely check that out. But Rover has definitely been a big part of my day to day because it helps me get out, you know? Like if I'm stuck at home, working from home, chances are I'm not gonna leave the house. I'm probably gonna just go downstairs to the gym or order food or cook or anything like that, or do some errands if I have to. But for the most part, I'm actually doing drop-in visits outside, house sitting, get to explore all these cool neighborhoods. At this point, I feel like I've walked every area of our neighborhood and be able to know like all these cool places to check out. And then another one is like a lot of YouTube collaborations. So I got sponsorships a lot this year, and I pretty much said yes to all the ones I'm actually interested in, and I said no or I did not respond to those that were completely off base. Like there's one on men's fashion. Like why would I cover men's fashion? If I have another person, maybe I could add us in here, but it doesn't feel like a genuine collaboration, so I didn't do it. There was a lot of NFC business cards that reached out to me. Those videos did really well. Check out them over here. Honestly, they are the highest performing videos at this time. I was so shocked. I think it's because people are interested, so they're searching it up, and maybe the way I optimized it, they searched it up. And then I have a lot of collaborations reaching out to me about like, hey, can you do this? Can you do this? I'm like, I can't be like known for NFC business cards. I can't do this. I'm known for careers and tech. I can't be doing NFC business card videos every freaking day. But definitely check out those videos. I think it's a really cool concept, especially now everyone's going back into the office, going to these in-person events. It's a great way to really start the day. So I've also been kind of slowing down in TCC, Technology Consulting Community. It's not because I'm not really a technology consultant at a consulting firm anymore. It's actually because I was ramping up on my job as solutions architect at Google that sometimes it just kind of slipped off the radar. So in the past, I would have a lot of technology consulting content, and then because of that, it just kind of made it more recent. People would see the Facebook group a little bit more. There'd be more traction to that. But now, like because I was at Google, I don't have as much technology consulting content. I still have it, but they're not as like 100% technology consulting at a consulting firm. But I do want to say that like this is what I kept on trying to say. It's like I still do technology consulting. I'm just at a tech company, and the title would be either solutions architect or solutions consultant. By job title, it's advertising solutions architect, but by job group at Google, it's actually solutions consultant. So I'm still a consultant, I'm just not at a consulting firm. So I wanted to say that because I've been slowing down at TCC, not because of the fact that I'm not in technology consulting anymore, but because I simply just don't have that much time. And the pro bono consulting program took a lot of my time. Like literally the past 2 years, I've mostly been working on that. And then we kind of just ended things and we finally wrapped things up in May or so. So it's like, okay, finally I can relax and we're going to go pick things up again, but there's a lot of things that I have coming your way next year. So there's a lot of things coming up on that, and you're gonna definitely have to wait for that update. So definitely subscribe if you want more. But there's gonna be a lot of updates next year that, again, I feel like TCC might have to kind of slow down a little bit. And then we also did, like I mentioned before, finish a pro bono program. That was a big win. We've done pro bono consulting for 2 years. It just kept on getting pushed off because we just had a lot of things that we had to do, and I wanted to constantly have people exposed to this area instead of saying no. But this will also be kicked off sometime midway next year. I've also been slowing down the podcast, and that's honestly because a lot of the recordings are weekday nights, and because of Rover, because of Google being hybrid, so I have to go to the office, or just in general, it's actually a lot of work. So in the past, I had it with technology consultants, technology professionals, and women. It actually has become, at this point, women. It's basically just women of inspiration that are on the podcast now. A lot of people are just finding me, and then they fill out the form, and then we just have next up. So essentially, like when they reach out to me about the time availability after filling out the form, those are the people that you see reaching out. I don't actually reach out to anyone, maybe 1 or 2 people, but for the most part, they're reaching out to me. And then if they reach out to me, I'll put it on the calendar. But I do have a lot lined up. There is like some career coaching sessions that I'm going to be recording for the podcast as well. It's just been busy, especially because my role in Google Shopping is very cyclical, being retail. So holiday season, so in this case, August through November was so busy for me. It wasn't exactly so busy where I worked more than 40 hours, but it was so much work and time intensive and effort intensive and energy draining that I was just working a lot. And then after that, I'm just like, the one thing I want to do is just relax. So that's what I mostly did when it was like August through November. And then I did some videos, of course, but for the most part, I was just drained and I didn't have that much energy to do podcast episodes. I still did the recordings, but it's hard to manage. So then also there's improvements in the condo. So that we've gone I think, oh my God, I don't remember the last time, but we talked about this. Well, we replaced our fridge because it died, the freezer died, and we didn't want everything to go to waste. So we got a smart fridge. One of our HVAC units died during the summer. It was 90 degrees, and so we had to buy something. We had to fix it, so we bought a new unit. Our microwave, over the range vent thingy, died, so we had to buy that. It was $700. A lot of improvements. And over here in our bathroom, We actually have a portable washing machine. I'll put in a little video over here. It's actually something that we got because even though we have a washing machine, like a laundry room downstairs and our first floor, we're on the second floor, and we're literally right on top of it too. I just don't like how whenever we have cats coming in and they just like pee on a beanbag chair or pee on something and then we need to throw in a wash, that we're spending like $175. We're putting in a Tide Pod, we're putting in all this stuff. And like, why don't we just have a portable washing machine? So like whenever something's soiled, we can just do it right here. And it won't cost us anything except for maybe like electricity bills, which is very minuscule. And also we can do our own laundry instead of like rushing down and be like, oh look, no laundry machines are available. So we actually got a portable washing machine. The link is down below if you're interested. It's literally $200. We both take it and use it a lot. It's really great. We also got a bidet in both of our bathrooms. That was great too. And then also like in my particular bathroom, we have 2 bathrooms and we actually make it where like one bathroom is his and one bathroom is mine. But of course, both of us use it. It's just our daily routine stuff, our shower stuff is all set in a particular bathroom so we don't have to wait for each other to finish. So in my bathroom, for some reason, there was like really old washers where it wasn't shutting off the water for the toilet. So we had to get that fixed. We had to go bring in a plumber and then they fixed everything. And then we finally got a new bidet. So there's been a lot of changes and also some upgrades as well. So I upgraded our couch in this room so it looks a little bit prettier, and I have also upgraded our cabinetry as well. We upgraded a lot of things in this apartment and it's been great. So I'm also probably gonna do a updated desk video soon, maybe next year, because there's also been some changes here as well since the last time. So if you're interested, leave a comment down below. We've also traveled a lot. Honestly, when I look at this, I'm like, wow, we did travel a lot because I had to write down all the places we went to. So we went to Atlanta, and I think that was January. Is it January or is that February? So Derek and me, we went to go visit our friend in Atlanta. So that's what we ended up doing. And then we had, so this was like after I quit my job at Accenture and before I started at Google. So we had this Chattanooga, Nashville, and Atlanta trip with Addison this time. And it was with my friend Main Chain and his wife. So the same person we saw in January or February. I don't even remember when that trip was, but the same people. And then we went to, it was like essentially Nashville, and then on the way back, we went to Chattanooga, and then we went to Atlanta. We already had this trip planned before I started at Google and before I even quit at Accenture. So there was a Vancouver, Seattle trip, 10 days, 5 days in Vancouver, 5 days in Seattle. It was fun. All these travel vlogs, by the way, are in that playlist over there if you want to check it out. And then we also went to, literally landed here. The next day, I was out flying to Boulder for an offsite. So this was with my team offsite. I'm so happy that I joined before that and the trip ended up falling like literally the day after. I was able to do that, otherwise I would have missed it. So went to Boulder, Colorado, my first time in Colorado. So that was really cool. And I did not record that. I didn't want to. It just felt like a little bit weird to do this, especially for a work trip. And then in August, went to New Orleans. So this was actually for a conference. But before that, I think we had, because like part of GPS, so Google Professional Services under GTech, for all the nooglers or people who, truglers, I think, basically people who transferred over, we did something called Trek Week. So it's like training on how to become better consultants. And that's exactly what our GPS area is about. So that Trek Week, I think was in July? Yeah, it was July. So that was in July and we went to Mountain View. And then in August again, we came back, but this time for reorientation, and that was also to Mountain View. While we were there, I was actually able to go to SF and Mountain View. Definitely check out the vlogs over here. I did cover that for reorientation, and also went to LA as well. So when I was in LA, I actually got a tattoo over there. It's probably hard to see here, and especially when there's a cat scratch there, but it is a white tattoo. But it says empathy, and then this is a cherry blossom. It's white cherry blossom with pink little part in here, so it's a little bit hard to tell. And one of the things that I did want to add on here was tattoos. I actually, of course I had to wear this freaking turtleneck. This makes things harder. But I have a touch-up of this tattoo of Dawn and Sora. And because they say like, oh, it has to be a $300 minimum for appointments. So I was like, I'm not paying for a touch-up, so I'm gonna get a new tattoo, which was essentially this one over here. And then I also have this one that I did in LA, which was pretty cool. Like I wanted to say like I went to LA and got a tattoo. It wasn't at home in New York. So that's 1, 2, 3 new tattoos. Of course, like, I mean, this was from last year, technically, last October, but I have a tattoo of Charlotte over here. There we go. But yeah, so that's my year review. I thought this was a little bit funny to show, especially with my tattoos, but a lot has happened this year. It's been really great, and honestly, subscribe down here because there's a lot going on that I'm going to finally start filming on this. There's a purpose. I'm purposely revealing them a little bit later than it actually happened, just for the true surprise, but definitely check that out. Subscribe down below for those updates. So that's my professional update, my personal update, YouTube update, Rover update in general. So see you everyone in the new year. Bye. Peace. Oh yeah, make that bang for your kitties. What do you think I'm doing Rover for? It's to be able to save more money for them and be able to give such a good life. Oh, so cute.